Over the past probably 2 months, I've really become passionate about cryptocurrencies. Over the last 2 months, I've really buckled in and I've said, I want to learn everything I possibly can over cryptocurrency. I've been able to trade stocks for a living for the last 10 years straight. I want to learn more about crypto because is it true? Is crypto the future? Is crypto the way of future finance? Some people may say yes, some people may say no. And as you get more in depth in cryptocurrencies, you start seeing all these little subdivisions of cryptocurrency. We obviously think of cryptocurrency, we think of Bitcoin. And then people usually think of Ethereum. And you can also think of NFTs. And you can think of the metaverse. And you can think about all these different fields within crypto. Now, last bull run in cryptocurrencies was back in 2021. And that is when we saw Bitcoin go all the way from the price of 9,000 and run all the way on up about a year and a half later towards around 69,000. Then we came crashing all the way back on down. And right now we're at 37,000. So we are getting a very nice bounce at this moment over on the cryptocurrency world. Now, Bitcoin is basically, for those who do not know, it is the leader of the entire cryptocurrency world. Basically, when Bitcoin is up and we start breaking back above 50,000, 60,000, that is when everything's going to start coming back to life in the cryptocurrency world. That's when we're going to start seeing a lot of hype. We're going to see a lot of excitement. People are going to start talking about it all over the place. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I've already told you the story many times that back in 2012, my friend Jeremy came up to me when I was a senior in high school. And he told me to buy Bitcoin. And at this price, Bitcoin was, I don't know, underneath $1. It was extremely cheap back in 2012. And I always thought about what if I did jump in on Bitcoin? What if I just invested $500? What if I invested $10,000? And where I'd be at today? Well, things would be completely different. It could be completely different for the better or completely different for the worse. Who knows? But obviously, my finances would have been insane. So last bull run that we went on this massive climb, massive rip, massive run, I sat on the sidelines. I didn't get involved in cryptocurrency at all. I sat back and I said to myself, nah, I don't want to get involved into it. It seems like everything's a scam. It seems like everything's it seems like it's pointless. I've never bought anything in my life with Bitcoin. Have you guys? Has anyone ever bought anything with Bitcoin? Has anyone ever bought anything with Ethereum other than maybe an NFT, other than a picture of a rock or a slug or a monkey? No. And that's what you guys have to understand about this. That the majority of people that are involved in cryptocurrency, let's say there is 100 people here. I'm going to be honest with you and probably say that 95% of them understand that all of this, at least as of now, is garbage. Okay? All of this is garbage. Bitcoin, garbage. Ethereum, garbage. XRP, garbage. What everyone really wants is everyone's just trying to make money. Everyone is just trying to have Bitcoin pump on up so that their profits go on up and they can sell. They again jump in on Ethereum so they can pump it on up and then that they can sell. They jump in over on Solana, Cardano, Dogecoin so it gets pumped on up and then they can sell. We don't use any of this. There is not one person in the world really that that's like, oh, I use the technology over on Tonecoin. I love the technology over on DAI. There is technology there, but 95% of people don't really care about the technology because it's not actual real world technology yet. No companies actually use it at this time. And I feel like a lot of people that actually get sucked into the technology saying, oh, this is going to be big, this is going to be big, this is going to be big. It does come on down to the pure fact that we don't use any of this stuff yet. Maybe in the future we will. So what does it really come on down to? It comes down to not trading the actual coin. It comes on down to thinking about what is going to bring in the hype. It's the same exact thing that we do with our penny stocks. With our penny stocks, when we go ahead and we trade BDRX, guys, I personally don't care at all about BDRX. I don't even know what BDRX does. I don't know the CEO of BDRX. I don't know what BDRX is working on. I don't care where BDRX is going to be at in the next 2, 3, 4 weeks. I care about what BDRX was going to do today and making a profit off BDRX today. That's all I cared about in any sort of way. These cryptocurrencies are the same exact thing. I don't care about where they're going to be at tomorrow. I'm caring about what stock is going to be able to take the hype. What stock is going to get the action? What stock is going to get the activity? Now, as you guys can imagine, the majority of these cryptocurrencies, that's all people that are looking for as well. We are trading what they call narratives. We're basically trading the story. What story, what cryptocurrency is going to get the best story in the public's eye? So The first cryptocurrency to get the big story in the public eye was Bitcoin, where Bitcoin was able to go all the way from 0 cents and spike all the way up towards around $65,000, $69,000. Now, obviously, people that jumped in on Bitcoin were able to make hundreds of millions of dollars. They were able to become billionaires. Now, as I've said, one man's junk is another man's treasure. You don't need to like Bitcoin, but if it makes you $1 billion, I'm sure you're going to like it. I am personally telling you right now, just like penny stocks, a lot of these cryptocurrencies are garbage. They don't do anything for us. But the thing is, if they are going to be able to produce and make millions of dollars, I love them. Okay? So I am trying to figure out what is going to get the next pump. What is going to get the next rip? What is going to get the next run? And this next run is going to be happening most likely at the start of the spring of this upcoming year. The big thing that all cryptocurrency traders want to be looking for right now is going to be a Bitcoin ETF. That's what everyone wants. Now, many companies have been trying to file to get a Bitcoin ETF to the SEC. We have been able to see company after company, firm after firm saying, let's get a Bitcoin ETF, let's get a Bitcoin ETF, let's get a Bitcoin ETF. And the SEC has constantly and consistently rejected it and said, no, 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 no. But then BlackRock, which is one of the most largest financial companies in the world, went to the SEC and says, we want a Bitcoin ETF. And that started getting serious. Now, on January 10th, we have to get an answer. January 10th, you can write that down, that Bitcoin has to have an answer if they are going to be getting an ETF or not. And as of now, there is a 90% chance that we are going to be getting an ETF. Now, why is this so big for the cryptocurrency community? Well, it's so big for the cryptocurrency community because once again, Bitcoin gets an ETF. Think about how many people in the world are now going to feel safe about investing into cryptocurrencies. Oh, I'm going to invest in Bitcoin, but I can go through my broker. I'm going to invest in Bitcoin, but I don't have to be on any shady site. I can invest in Bitcoin because, oh, the SEC says it's okay. So now again, I know it's safe. Now institutions start dumping money into Bitcoin. Now again, huge firms start dumping money into Bitcoin. Now everyone always brings up, this picture over here. So this is basically a picture of gold here. When gold got an ETF, within the 10 years, it ran 420% here. Basically, what traders are expecting is that, here it is, like when you first get an ETF, it finally opens up the door for institutions. It finally opens up the door where the public sees that it's safe. It finally opens up to the door where people are saying, oh, wow, okay, I can invest into it. So notice how for 30 years, gold's just moving sideways. First gold ETF is lifted on the New York Stock Exchange. Within 5 years, it goes from $200 all the way up to $1,800 within 5 years. Because every single person is saying, okay, now it's safe, now it's okay. So if you're sitting here right now and saying, okay, hey, yeah, crypto's a scam, crypto's dumb. Guys, I'll tell you right now, the majority of these plays are garbage. We don't use any of them. But I'm going to tell you right now, people have been able to become billionaires in the cryptocurrency market. And on January 10th, we get an answer on if we are going to get an ETF. And as that picture you just saw, even if you're saying, oh, I don't know anything about Bitcoin, that ETF, it's a common trend that you usually see massive institutions move in on these plays. So what they're saying is this upcoming bull run for, again, Bitcoin is going to be one of the biggest bull runs ever. We've had a bull run in the past right here. Bull run back in 2018, bull run back in 2021, and now the next bull run is going to be in 2024 into 2025. So not only team, are we going to be getting this ETF coming up in the winter? But we also know that every 4 years, Bitcoin is going to be having its halving. Now, halving, if you want to think about this, I'm just going to bring this on up right here, is what is Bitcoin halving? After the network mines 210,000 blocks every 4 years, the block reward given to Bitcoin miners for processing transaction is cut in half. This event is called halving because it cuts the rate at which new Bitcoins are released into circulation in half. I know, very confusing. Stick with me here. What it really comes on down to, traders, is that every 4 years, when these halving cycles start, is always the next run into the next bull cycle. So we have our halving, we have a very nice spike. We have our halving, we have a very nice spike. We have our halving, we have a very nice spike. You can see once the halving begins, and the halving day is, I believe, April 17th. Is the halving day. It's 243 days of climbing, 358 days of climbing, 525 days of climbing. And now everyone's saying that this is going to be the next big bull run, because as we head into this is when an ETF could come on out. And if the ETF comes on out, this is going to be the institutional bull run, where we might see hedge funds putting in huge money. The public's going to be putting in more money because they feel safer about it, because the SEC is behind it. And that's when we see a lot more money flowing into the cryptocurrency world. So we're kind of having a little bit of a perfect storm at this moment, where traders are saying to themselves, all right, hey, not only are we getting this ETF coming on out, but we're also, again, having the halving cycle coming on out. Because the last, again, few years, Bitcoin's been a little dead. Over the last few years, it has been slow. From, again, that time of November of 2021 all the way until 2022, and then basically sideways of 2023, we're starting to get a little bit of hype right now. Now, I will say I think this hype's going to drop back down towards, I think it's going to fall back down towards like 25,000, maybe, 27,000. We are going to get a little bit of a drop, and then in the spring, it's going to start moving, I think, itself back on up. Now, that's just, again, Bitcoin. Now, the thing that you need to understand is it all starts with Bitcoin. If people are buying Bitcoin, it floods into these little plays. Once it floods into this little play, that's when you guys can be able to make millions of dollars. People don't make millions of dollars on Bitcoin unless you guys have millions of dollars. So where do the millions of dollars in the cryptocurrency market come from? The millions of dollars in the cryptocurrency market come from the smaller plays that now turn into the next big thing. For instance, when we have, let's say, Ethereum in 2021, it was at the price of $47. It spiked up to the price of almost $5,000. Okay? So, I mean, you could be able to make hundreds of millions of dollars off this. Imagine you jumping in on a play at $47 and it spikes on up towards $4,600. People make money in the penny stock market when stocks go from $1 to $2, $2 to $5. Imagine $5 to $4,000. We're talking about, if you have a $5,000 account, you can make $4 million, right? That's a $5,000 account. So the main thing that people are trying to figure out now is what's going to pop off next, okay? That's the next main thing. So for instance, Dogecoin back in 2021. How many people here got involved in Dogecoin? Dogecoin, remember, went all the way from less than 7 cents, went all the way on up towards 60 cents, and then it came crashing on down. So why did people buy Dogecoin? People bought Dogecoin because Elon Musk was behind it. Elon Musk was promoting it. It was funny. It had a story to tell, okay? So what we need to realize is, where is a lot of the story going to be? Where is the attention going to be? Because as I already said, no one in life is probably ever going to pay with Dogecoin. Maybe if Elon Musk sometime in the future incorporates it with like X or Twitter, that's where things are going to get crazy. You could see Cardano. This was a very crazy coin where Cardano did what? This play went all the way back in 2021 from 9 cents, spiked all the way on up towards around $3. Guys, that is absolutely insane to be able to see these crazy rips and runs. And it kind of it's almost like why I'm so interested on this is because traders, it's like penny stock trading to the extreme. We're seeing penny stock trades. Instead of stocks going from $1 to $2, we're seeing $1 to $2,000. We're seeing a 1 penny to $5. We're seeing almost what we do in the penny stock world to the absolute extreme. So everyone knows at this point, okay? If you guys are involved in the cryptocurrency world, everybody knows at this point that the bull run is going to be coming. And I'm going to tell you again, last bull run, the previous bull run, 2012, I did nothing in the cryptocurrency world, and I missed out on hundreds of thousands to potentially millions of dollars. I am not missing out on this cryptocurrency bull run. I am going to be involved in it, and I'm going to be involved pretty heavily into it. But you must go into the fun fact with your mind right now, saying to yourself, these are not long-term investments. They're not. These are plays that we want to make as much money as we can in the bull run, and we want to get the heck out of there. Okay? Because even Bitcoin right here, team, it goes on these massive spikes and then it comes crashing all the way back on down. Then again, even Ethereum, we go on these massive spikes, then again, we come crashing on down. All these projects here, they are great and they have future potential for long-term holds and different technology, but it is basically a year of trying to make as much money as you can, and then you get the heck out of there. So right now, we know that that bull run's coming. We know that that ETF is on the way. We know that, again, that halving cycle is coming on up. Right now, every single crypto trader, just to try to fill you in, is people are trying to find the narrative. What's the next big thing within the cryptocurrency community that is going to go huge, that is going to take on off? So we know that a lot of these plays last year were all about Ethereum. Anything that had to do with Ethereum went on these crazy 100, 200x moves. Now, we also saw NFTs. NFTs went crazy. NFTs went wild. Now, for anyone that's involved in the cryptocurrency world right here, what is going to be, does anyone have the next narrative? What is the next narrative? What is the next story? What is the next technology that people are going to say it's the good technology, but really everyone's just trying to make money off the hype that's going to be coming on in? Does anyone have any idea? Does anyone have any idea on what's the next narrative? Where inside the cryptocurrency world should we be investing? Should we be looking at plays that are just involved with Ethereum or Bitcoin or have it involved over on NFTs? Well, there are a few different kind of narratives that we have at this moment. The narratives that we have at this moment, I'm going to talk about a few different ones, is number one, this is the most popular at this moment. This is where every single person right now is already starting to put money, okay? Right now, people are all starting to run on over, and they are going over to gaming, okay? At this time, nearly every single person is putting in money towards cryptocurrency gaming, saying that this is the next big thing. So if you guys go over to categories and you guys click gaming, what it is, it's called play to earn gaming or gaming tokens. This is kind of the story that's starting to take over the crypto world before this bull run begins. This is a lot of people trying to get in early. So let's think about it. What's the story at this time? What this is how many people here play video games? Who here at least knows, if you don't play video games, how popular are video games? Well, what this is there are new upcoming video games that people can play. And when you play, you win money. If you beat another team, you take money. When you beat a level, you win money. If you are again doing great, the game pays you money. So it's called play to earn gaming tokens right here. So what we have at this time, traders, is a lot of these gaming tokens are getting a lot of excitement already. People are already starting to say, hey, you know what? I want to jump in. I want to start getting involved into these gaming companies here. So for instance, let's just go over to this Beam play. This Beam play, guys, is less than a penny at this moment. And as you guys can see, it is starting to climb. It's people are trying to get in early before that next possible very big spike, before that next possible very big rip. This is one of those things at this moment. If we take a look, let's say over the last 1 month, Alluvium. This is a very popular company, $112 at this moment. But what happened last bull run? Last bull run, it went all the way from $20, went all the way up to $1,800. If you had a $20,000 that you invested, it ran up to $1,800, you would have made $1.8 million. Right now, it's at 113. People are saying the next narrative for, again, the next bull run is going to be gaming crypto, which basically you play again games, you win cryptocurrency, you convert it to real money, and you could be able to make a living, make hundreds of millions of dollars just by playing video games. Now, are these real companies as well? They are real companies. You can actually go ahead and take a look over on these, and you can go ahead and go over to YouTube, type in, Alluvium. This is a very popular one at this time, and you can actually see, some Alluvium games that are coming on out. These are, again, some video games that are on the Alluvium, network that you can go ahead and be able to play, and you can see it's a legit real thing. But remember, we're not basically saying, oh, wow, this is the thing of the future. We're just trying to play what's the story that everyone else is hyping on up. Because pretty soon, just like NFTs, there's going to be a trend. Pretty soon, just like AI, there's going to be a trend. Pretty soon, just like Bitcoin or just like Ethereum, there's going to be a trend. We're trying to figure out before this bull run begins. We don't want to sit here and say, oh, have you guys seen that huge spike? Oh, what was it? Oh, it's about monkeys. You buy monkeys, and these monkeys are $500,000 already. We're trying to find it now before this bull run, before, again, things start going. So we could see that Alluvium ran all the way up to $1,800 at 113 at this moment. So you can head on over here and you can go over towards these plays and see, how they've been moving and how they're climbing at this time. So really the way it breaks on down is to the ones with the biggest market caps are going to be the most reliable. These are going to be the plays that you're probably not going to get dumped on. There's not going to be any sort of massive dump. They probably will climb, but they're going to climb at a slower rate. So if I want to get involved in top gaming tokens, I could get in on IMX. There's $1.6 billion in the company of IMX. You can see it's a very legitimate company, and that's why, again, this play right here has been moving up, because people are getting involved in gaming at this moment. But also, please remember something. Everything in the crypto world is one giant pump and dump. Okay, just like last time, IMX went from $3 towards, again, $10. It's now back down towards $1 because the last 2 years has been the bear market. Now we're going to go back into the bull market, and people are now looking for what is going to be that next big thing. Last bull market was everything about Ethereum and layer ones. Now people are trying to find the next narrative. So gaming and playing to earn games, that's what people are really excited about at this moment. Now, I don't think so. I don't think that's going to be it here. Now, why don't I think that's going to be it? Because one thing I've learned already is that when you talk about crypto, is that if you are not first, you are last. If you are not first, you are last. You can't get dumped on in crypto. You have to be one of the first ones in on it. If you buy Bitcoin at 70,000, I mean, Bitcoin's a little different. Obviously, it's a very well-known household name. We're talking about these companies that base these huge moonshots, these ones that go up 100x and then come crashing on down. You can't buy those at the top. So while gaming has a lot of attention towards it right now, I'm trying to do a lot of research on figuring out what is different narratives. What are different narratives into this market here? Now, let me ask you guys a question. And I thought about this. I thought to myself, what is the number one problem with cryptocurrency? Does anyone know? If you guys had to answer that question, what is the number one problem with cryptocurrency? Because I'm trying to think, okay, next bull run, we start getting attention towards it. It's been 3 years since people have actually talked about Bitcoin. It's been 3 years since people have brought things on up. It's been 3 years since we've seen these monkeys that everyone's buying. It's been 3 years since. I think the biggest problem with, again, cryptocurrency is that, this is what I came up with, is that no one actually uses it. Am I right? Am I right with that? No one actually uses cryptocurrency. No one actually ever buys anything with cryptocurrency. No one actually wants to do anything with cryptocurrency. Everyone's just basically trying to play the hype and trying to play the story of what is going to be the future, what is going to be big. So then there actually is a narrative here called real world assets. This is getting a lot of attention already. Stick with me here. Remember the name of the game. The name of the game is what you laugh at, someone else makes millions of dollars off of. So I thought, hey, you know what? Buying those monkeys are really stupid. Am I right? There's no point of those buying $100 million monkeys. You know what? I'm never going to laugh at that again. I'm going to try to understand it and go from there. Same exact thing with this. I said, you know what? There's really no point of cryptocurrency. As again, we head into the next bull run, I want to see tokens. I would want to invest in things that can actually help real world value. So this is something that's starting to get very popular as we start approaching into the next bull run. It says the rise of tokenized real world assets, or RWAs. Just like we had, of course, Bitcoin, BIT, or NFTs. These are called RWAs, and this is something I'm definitely getting very interested in. It says tokenization of assets is probably the second most important use for blockchain technology discovered years ago, following its use as decentralized and transparent way to enable fast, cheap, and secure digital payment transactions. So let's go into understanding how asset tokenization works, or RWAs. It says asset tokenization refers to the process of creating digital tokens on a blockchain to represent ownership of real world assets. So these tokens can represent a wide range of assets, including real estate, art, stocks, or any other physical digital asset in the real world. Asset tokenization has gained popularity due to its ability to make traditional illiquid assets more accessible and divisible, enabling easier transferring and trading. Imagine that an individual or entity owns a valuable piece of real estate, such as an apartment building, and they want to raise capital or make it accessible to a broader range of investors. Instead of selling the entire property, they decide to tokenize it. This involves creating digital tokens on the blockchain, each representing a fraction of the property. For instance, 1,000 tokens can each represent 1% of ownership. These tokens are distributed to investors like you, allowing you to become fractional owners of the property. So basically, I'm trying to think of what can we use cryptocurrency in real life for? This idea, using RWAs, is what? RWAs is tokenization real world assets. So basically, let's think about it in real estate. Let's say there's an investor, or let's say there's a guy who wants to sell a hotel, or he's saying, hey guys, I want to open up my hotel for investing. He can put a coin out or tokenize it where you can go ahead and buy 1% of that hotel, 10% of that hotel, 25% of that hotel. And that hotel is almost like a stock now, where basically you get paid as the hotel does well. If you want to, let's say, invest into an art piece. Hey, I want to buy the Mona Lisa. I can't afford the Mona Lisa, but I want to invest into, again, 2% of it. So if it goes up to auction and gets sold, I get 2% of that. So basically, it's a way for, instead of someone buying something outright that would be extremely expensive, that a person who's selling it can take the idea of tokenizing it, where say, okay, you can buy parts of it, and when we sell it, or if it's a running business, you can essentially get part of the company, like shares of the company, or if I sell it, you get your 1 to 2%, whatever, again, you work on your tokenization. So that is something that is starting to get very popular at this moment, and I think could be a potential to be able to become the next narrative. I've always said to myself, I don't think, again, crypto is great because we don't actually use it. I've never spent money to buy, groceries with Dogecoin. I've never used Bitcoin to actually buy real life value. If this trend catches on where, hey, you know what, this whole hotel is going on up, I could buy a piece of it and be able to get a little bit of value, I can at least see real world value on tokenizing something along these lines. Now, this is not something that I just randomly found. This is something that is starting to catch fire, just like the gaming narrative is. Just like the gaming narrative is catching fire, a lot of these other coins and tokens are starting to catch some fire as well. One of the most popular ones is Relio at this moment, where we can see over the past 1 month, this has been getting some attention. It has been getting some hype. It has been moving on up. And the reason why is because people are saying, okay, this is the next narrative. This is the next trend. But this is kind of the narrative that I'm leaning towards a lot at this moment, as people are, again, getting ready for that bull run, trying to be in early, trying to get their $1 million position all set before the narrative takes on off. It's almost like us buying NFTs at this moment when they're at, buying Bored Apes when they're at 4,000, when they're at 5,000, before they go up to 500,000 or $1 million, right? So, that's kind of what we have. Deck, what are some different narratives that are out there? Well, there are different narratives such as privacy. Isn't that the whole point of cryptocurrencies in the first place? To cut out the government completely? If you want to cut out the government completely and say, okay, Deck, I want complete privacy, isn't that the point of it? And I think maybe after this ETF comes on out and all of a sudden the SEC starts getting more involved in regulation, I think a lot of hardcore cryptocurrency people may say, you know what, I'm going over towards, again, complete privacy. Guys, this wasn't the point of crypto. We don't want to have regulations. We don't want to have to pay taxes. We don't want to have any. We want complete privacy, right? That's what some people will say. Okay, I'm not saying that. Pay your taxes. Okay, pay your taxes right now. But I'm letting every single person know that people are doing that. Now, the number one is Monero. Now, there are sub coins underneath Monero that are private. But if you guys do not know, Monero is XMR, the number one privacy coin out there. Now, just like I said before, I want to invest in the coins that actually have use, not just randomness. Monero is the coin that is used on the dark web all the time. So why did Bitcoin get big in the first place? Bitcoin got big in the first place because it was invented and it was untraceable. You didn't know where it came from. You didn't know where it was going. You got Bitcoin, you transferred it into real money, you got your product, and then you're all set to go. People on the dark web don't use Bitcoin anymore because it's traceable. Monero is one of the only untraceable, completely private coins out there. Now, I'm not saying that you want to do it because you can do illegal activities, but I'm saying that it is 100% private, and it is what is the number one coin used over on the dark web. It also is a play that, yes, it has had its fair share of spikes and dumps, but it has held up its value much better than many other coins out there, where if you are, again, saying, hey, I want to just stay 100% private, Monero is the currency of the dark web, and Monero is something that actually does hold its value much better in these bear markets, rather than if we take a look at, let's say, like, Dogecoin, where it basically has no value whatsoever. It's just a meme coin, which just went straight on up and then came straight back on down. So, there are coins that have a little bit more value behind it. And maybe the next narrative, especially after this ETF and people start, talking about it, is that, hey, we want privacy. So everyone would go to Monero. Then everyone looked for the smaller and smaller and smaller guy, and that's where all those crazy pumps would happen. Remember, traders, we got to remember something. We can't get lost into what we actually think is going to happen. We're trying to find what's the best story. What is the world going to believe Bitcoin's going to do? Because remember, Bitcoin was, it's going to revolutionize finance. It hasn't done any of that yet, right? But people still, again, invest hundreds of millions of dollars into it, just like Ethereum, just like NFTs. Right? And also, little side note here, team. If anyone is still confused about what NFTs are, I understand the idea of it, but at the same time, it just turned too scammy. So if anyone does not understand the idea of NFTs here, traders, let's think about it like this. Think about it as in you want to go ahead and sign up to a country club. Why do people sign up to country clubs? Well, in country clubs, you get a pool. You got a place to take your family to dinner. You get to socialize with other people that are within, again, your network or be able to expand your network. You get to play golf if you guys are interested in golf. You have dinners, you have different parties. You're with individuals that are probably focused over on business, entrepreneurship, things along those lines. That's the point of a country club. And that's why some people spend $5,000, $20,000, $100,000, $500,000 to get into a country club. Now, what is the point of an NFT? Well, an NFT is almost like a country club as well. I'm going to spend $25,000, $100,000, $500,000 for this NFT. And this NFT is now, again, my card. It's my ticket. It's my membership to that country club. And now when I spend, again, this $500,000 for this card, that money, yes, it is going to the person I bought it off of, but that money should also be going off to the Bored Ape headquarters, where they're now going to set up events. And maybe, again, anyone who has that card, hey guys, we're gonna have this, yacht party. Come on out to this yacht party. Hey guys, we have bottle service over on this Miami club. Hey guys, we're gonna have this huge, again, business adventure. Hey guys, if you have this, we are gonna fly everyone out to Aspen, Colorado, because you're part of this exclusive club. So I get the idea. That's a really cool, revolutionary idea. It's very neat. It's very cool when you think about everything that could go right with NFTs. But what went wrong with NFTs? NFTs was, who wants to join my club? Everyone join my club. Everyone join my club. I got a cool club. I got a cool club. And everyone bought all this money. And then all of a sudden, the guy who, again, was running the club just ran away with all the money. There is no club anymore. And just ran away with all the money. And that's what everyone did. Right? That's why I never made NFTs, because I never wanted to be involved in that. I didn't want to get involved in it. I didn't want to, people are like, oh, Deck, make a Tradecaster NFT. No, it's pointless. All it is going to be, everyone buying all these NFTs, and then I don't want to look like a guy that's just taking money and not doing anything with it. If you're making an NFT, you're setting up a country club, and you have to give your members an experience, day and week and year after year. It's a digital country club where everyone can be able to connect with each other, right? Not just have access to a chat. That's stupid, and that's why it died off so quickly. But the idea was there. The story was there. That's what's so neat. So the thing is, right now, if we're thinking about what is the next 100x type of cryptocurrency, what's the next 100x mover, what's the play that's going to go absolutely insane? Well, is the story. Are you getting more excited right now thinking about this? Saying to yourself, hey, Deck, I love the idea that the cryptocurrency, I can play a video game, and I can play a video game, and as I play this video game, I can be able to earn money. So I'm playing this game. I don't have to work. I could be able to go over here and I say to myself, all right, as I win, as I beat other players, I earn money. Oh, wow. How insane is that? How nuts is that to think about? I'm just kind of skipping around. Oh, wow. Okay. I can battle and fight these players. And all these, people are going to say, yes, this is such a revolutionary idea. This is insane. This is absolutely incredible. Is that going to be the story that's going to take over? Almost like join a country club over on NFTs. Is that going to be the story right here? Is the story going to be, no, Deck, hey, the story is cryptocurrencies are supposed to be private. And now, again, as we have this ETF coming on out, everyone, let's go to privacy coins. Let's go, everyone get involved in privacy. That's what's going to take the hype. That's what's going to take the attention. Is that going to be it? No, Deck, as again, we start getting more excited, and as we start kind of getting a little bit more attention towards it, the next big thing is let's put these coins in real world value. LEOX. LEOX is a place for you to invest into real life luxury real estate, own a piece of luxury real estate from a coin. So you only own 1% of a building, but every, again, revenue that building brings in, you get 1% of profit. So is that the next big thing? Real world assets and tokenizing real world things for you to make. Is that going to be the story of that's how I can make a living, by investing parts into cars or into artwork or into real estate? Is that going to be the next big thing? Or another, again, very, very big popular one is interpurability. And I think I'm saying that wrong, to be honest. But what that is, for anyone who does not know, is that is when we have, for anyone who follows blockchains, there's all these different blockchains and all these different coins are on their own blockchain. Okay? That's how the cryptos work. They all have their own blockchain. They're all running on their own blockchain. What we have here, we're basically trying to make that all the blockchains can connect with each other. And once the blockchains can connect with each other and speak with each other, everything can be able to connect and everything can be able to transfer from one coin to another very easily. And everything's able to have a pathway. That is another narrative at this time. So, traders, what do we have here? So we have all these different narratives going on. We have this bull run that's coming up in 2024. Everyone's trying to figure out what is going to be the story that's going to take over the hype over these next few moments, next few days. What's going to be the biggest story that's going to be happening at this time? Now, you guys might be saying to yourself, all right, well, how do I stay involved in this? How do I stay involved in this in any sort of way? Let's say, okay, you think gaming is going to get very hot. What I would do if I were you is go to categories. Let's go over to gaming here. And we already know that like IMX, Render, these are very big. Illuvium, these are very big. Just go over to Twitter because everything happens over on Twitter. You kind of have to have a Twitter here, okay? Go over to Twitter. Just go to the search bar, type in Illuvium, and see all the people that, again, have been talking about Illuvium for a while, right? See the people that just finished watching a 5-hour tournament on team members. It ran incredibly smooth, not a single crash. Game started instantly. I'm so pumped about the launch. This guy, I might just see what he's about. I'm going to follow people that have large followings that are, finding these coins as well, that kind of have more information about these coins. Let's see here. It's this guy, Mr. AKA Gem Hunter. He has 61,000 followers. The gaming studio that's taken Illuvium universe by storm is striking the upside yet again. Surely not just about to finish, but so he, again, obviously knows what he's talking about. He's been involved in the space a lot. And also he does what I like to look for a lot of times is we get a lot of comments, underneath here. Sometimes people will be like, oh yeah, hey, well, check out NXRA. That's the next one, right? Oh, check out NXRA. That's the next play here. Okay. So a lot of times I follow these bigger guys, see what they're talking about. And then I also see, what is everyone in their comments talking about, because they're going to give us some ideas of what's going to be heading towards next. Remember, guys, we have this upcoming bull run. There's going to be something like Ethereum that's going to come up. There's going to be something like NFTs that are going to come on up. There's going to be a narrative. There's going to be a trend. We just don't know what that trend or narrative is yet. Basically, with every narrative, with every trend, there's always the head honcho. Just like there's Bitcoin, then again, there's other plays. Basically, what we got to see, okay, this is how it works, is we're going to have Bitcoin spike. When Bitcoin gets above the price of probably 50,000, everything's going to start coming back to life. Hundreds to millions of billions of dollars are going to flood into Bitcoin. After they flood into Bitcoin, they're then going to flood it into these other plays. And where they flood into these other plays is going to be depending on what narrative is starting to take on over. They might flood into, again, layer ones. They might flood into layer twos. They might flood into gaming. They might flood into privacy. They might flood into interoperability. They might flood into, again, real world assets. They may flood into NFTs again. They may flood into anything. Then after they hit the main one, that's when everyone's going to basically go for these small cap, very low plays that are going to go on these very big, kind of crazy 100x type of moves. So right now, what you want to do is you want to be aware of when is Bitcoin going to spike, January 10th, or on top of that, it's going to be at the start of the bull run, which is going to be in April. Then after we see that spike, we want to see where's the money about to flow into. We have to be aware of the narratives, and then we have to be aware of the coins that are involved in that narrative. And once that narrative starts taking on over, we know it's going to build up and go crazy like it did last time. This is also the institutional bull run, where there is going to be hundreds of millions of dollars coming in after the ETF is accepted. So it's going to be the biggest bull run yet, where people are going to finally feel confident that, all right, hey, these aren't, scams. This is actually useful. But yes, guys, to be honest with you, these aren't really great, plays. We know each bull run lasts for about a year and a half. You are not holding your money into these forever. These are, again, you take profits when you have them. Deck, how do I know it's a good cryptocurrency or not going to dump on me? They could all dump on you, but I'm saying you can always look at the market cap. The market cap is 721 million on Bitcoin. Ethereum, 241 billion, 88 billion, 721 billion, 241 billion, Tether, 88 billion, BNB, 34 billion. Like, guys, there's tons of money in on these plays. So how do we know which ones are going to fly? How do we know which ones are going to go crazy? Well, who here likes low float stocks? Well, we all like low float plays. Those are the ones that go on the craziest rips and the craziest runs and the craziest spikes here, team. So what is like essential for low floats? 10 million or under in the float. It's almost the same exact thing with market cap here, guys. Market cap, what you want to be looking for is, let's go over to gaming. If you see anything under 10 million, these are going to be the most risky, but these are the ones that can go on kind of like the craziest rips and runs and spikes and climbs. So we can see like here, as we get down towards, these bottoms, we have Matrix, Doji, DeFi, Exceed Me, Sinverse, Division. This is how much money's in on these plays now. $10 million, $11 million, $11 million. These plays can easily go up to, let's just say something a little bit more realistic, a 10 million play can easily get up to a 50 million play, can easily get up to 100 million play. And obviously the top dogs are all the way up near $1 billion. IMX over $1 billion, Render $1 billion, Axie Infinity almost $1 billion. If you get in on something with 10 million and it gets up towards 100 million, or we get all the way up to a billion, I mean, you guys got to think about how much money that you guys are going to be making over on these plays. So, you know, it basically is going to go from Bitcoin breaks 50,000. Then again, whatever narrative takes on over, IMX, if it's gaming, is going to start spiking. Render is going to start spiking. If we start seeing IMX and start spiking and Render starts spiking, that's when everyone's going to flood on down to under these 10 million market caps, and everyone's going to do these plays, which is where you hear about people turning $4,000 into $120,000. So that's basically how it happens. Okay, so that's what you guys have to be ready for. The number one thing is studying what is the best narrative right now. Figure out all the narratives, and then on top of that, guys, you have to figure out, okay, what coins are the top coins and which coins have hype even right now that are the altcoins, which are the plays that are a little bit smaller, like the 10 million, but still have attention, that have a decent following, that have, again, some sort of hype towards them. So we know, again, IMX and RNDR, these are, again, ones that have a lot of attention already within the gaming space. These could definitely spike again, and definitely are good investments if, again, the gaming narrative takes on off. But then these bottom ones are the ones that turn like $1,000 into, you know, $1 million, right? So that's kind of like the big difference over there. Now, obviously, there are a ton of different narratives as well, guys. It's very difficult to be able to figure out, you know, what is going to be the next big narrative. Sometimes Reddit is going to be an amazing, you know, amazing asset. You go over, join the cryptocurrency world. What is your narratives to watch? Metaverse. You know, Mark Zuckerberg's making the metaverse. Could metaverse narratives start taking on off? Yes, there are cryptocurrencies for that. MVI, metaverse. This was a play that went all the way from $17, shot all the way up to $362. You know, but MVI, you know, metaverse hype kind of died on off. So you could see, you know, what we have here: metaverse, gaming, sports, fashion, sound tokens, ticketing and proof of attendance, DeFi, revenue sharing, social, AI, robotics. I mean, there's so many different types. You know, what's going to lead the next bull run? And I always like, you know, things within the last like few months, you know, AI, metaverse, gaming, level 1, level 2, interoperability, DeFi, storage, supply chain, real world assets, payments to be able to actually pay with cryptocurrency in today's world, NFTs, right? So there's so many different things you have to be aware of. But every single person right now, team, I'm just telling you guys right now what's going on in the crypto world. Every single person right now is just figuring out every narrative, finding all their favorite coins within that narrative. And the moment Bitcoin pops on up, everyone's going to see which narrative it is, and everyone's buying into that narrative, which everyone buying into that narrative is going to lead to that narrative spiking, which then is going to go to the public, and then they're all going to be buying. So you guys are going to be the earliest and first people out there. So I know I've been talking now for like the past hour straight, but this is kind of what's going on at this time over in the crypto world so that you guys are all set, ready to rock and roll. Last thing I want to be able to say here, traders, is remember, this is not financial advice. I'm literally telling you right now that 99.9% of these cryptocurrencies are not good. They're garbage. It's not good. It's not future technology. That's the story. Just like NFTs. Are they the future? That's just the story. Just like, again, is Bitcoin the future? It's just the story. Oh, the metaverse is the future. We're all going to live in there. People invested hundreds of billions of dollars. It's just the story. What we're trying to do is be first. Just like, again, these penny stock plays, all we're trying to do is we're trying to be first. We're trying to figure out where is everyone going to go to. But I know 99% of people that are out in the world right now aren't aware of the upcoming bull run, aren't aware of the ETF, aren't aware of, again, the halving cycle, aren't aware that they got to be looking for the next narrative. Again, traders, don't just randomly throw your money in on a random play I talked about. Do not do that. Do your own research. This is not financial advice. I'm just trying to show you what I'm looking for in the future based off, again, what I want to be on top of.